hand. Let's go ahead. We're gonna clean off her little nails. We're just gonna pretend that she's a real person. Here, I'm gonna zoom you guys in just a little bit. We'll do 2 nails, how about that? We'll make it easy. And we're gonna do kind of 2 different looks, just a little different than each other. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my alcohol and my little swipe pad here, my little lint-free wipe. And I'm just going to clean the nails off, get them ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe these other ones off just to clean it. Okay, but we're not gonna do those 2. All right, so we've got them wiped down. Let's go ahead and get our cuticle work out the way. Let me get my little, yes. Let me get my little cuticle bit. Okay, I'm kind of spread around here. Let's see. I'm gonna zoom in so you guys can see really well. Okay, and I'm just gonna use, for cuticle bits, I'm just going to use this one right here. So it's a diamond bit. And gonna put this in here. All right. I'm gonna put my E-file just on 4 because we don't need it to be crazy or anything. And I'm gonna get my cuticles done here. I'll just start in this corner. Let me make sure I've got it on forward instead of backwards. All right, there we go. And it may take me a couple more times than what you would usually do just on the mannequin versus a human. All right, let's get our cuticle. And I'm just jumping into it, but we're gonna build a hybrid nail, so it'll be both gel and acrylic, and we're gonna make it look natural. And I'm gonna use some products that I haven't really used before because I wanna see how they look doing a natural nail. Look. I just try to clean that up a little bit better and then move on to my next one here. Like I said, on mannequin here, we're gonna go around a couple times because her cuticle is extremely thick. She's having some cuticle issues. Basically, I always start in the corner here and just work my way around. For a mannequin here, I just really want to get rid of that line a little bit. Okay, so that's pretty good. I'll get my line better with the next bit. And the next bit, we're just gonna go in with our 150 sanding band, and I'm gonna use my little mini sanding band here, which mine is like this. I got it from Dev, and I like it so much better for a lot of the work on nails, using, you know, these little bitty ones. It's just, I don't know, it's so much easier for me. I get mine from Dev, so they're pink, really cute. I love her little logo. I think it's super cute. Love it. All right, let's put this in here. I'm not gonna push it all the way down. I'm just gonna keep it a little pulled out. We're gonna put the E-file on 5, because again, we don't need it on anything drastic. And I'm just gonna tickle across the nail here. And I got a little bit of pink on her. We'll get her cleaned up here. And let's tickle over here. We just want to make sure that anything that looks like it might be shiny is taken off, right? And I'm going to get around this cuticle just a little bit better. And let's get this free edge just a little bit better. I'm going to kind of come in just a little bit. There we go. And I'm gonna come in over here because her nail kind of goes out on the side a little bit. There, that'll make her look a little better. Okay, then on this one, again, we're just gonna tickle it across the surface and tickle it this way. Make sure we get any shiny bits. I'm gonna get back by this cuticle a little bit better. And again, I'm gonna get this side. You see how it kind of expands a little bit? Like from here, it jets out a little bit on the side. So I'm just gonna kind of go ahead and bring that in for our mannequin. Okay, there, that'll make it appear a little bit slimmer. And I can just kind of gently touch these little sides here. There we go. All right, let's get her dusted off. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and run this swipe back across her nails. Let me find my little, I know I had it over here. There it is. I'm just gonna use my same one because it still has a lot of alcohol on it. And I'm gonna clean her up. This will also dehydrate the nail, so she's got this little bit right here. I'm gonna go ahead and get that off. And I'm just gonna use the same one I used, the sanding band, and I'm just gonna kind of, now normally people won't have that back there, so there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and do this one too. Okay. There. All right, now we can get her wiped off. Okay. So next what we're gonna do is go in with our protein bond. That way we can set up for a really good adhesion. So here is my YoungNails protein bond, and I'm just gonna run this across the fingers. You can do it once or twice. Twice is certainly gonna give you a little bit more adhesion. I haven't had any problems doing once, but if you feel like you wanna make sure and you don't want any problems whatsoever, you can do it twice. Okay. Let's get this on our other one. And you just want to avoid getting it on the skin and not over flooding like the walls, like your side walls or your cuticles, okay? Now we're gonna let that dry. It only takes a second. And let's see, while she's drying, I've got something coming up on mine. Okay, there we go. All right, so next what I'm gonna do is put on some base. And I usually put base on my nails as well at this stage, even if I'm gonna do acrylic, because it will still grab onto it. But I like to go ahead and protect my natural nails. If it's a client, you don't have to do this part if you're gonna use acrylic to extend. But I've got my Madam Glam base. I'm just gonna put on a really nice thin coat just to kind of protect my nail from anything we're doing. This has really helped me a lot too by adding this layer of base on mine. But you could do acrylic too if you wanted to. All right, there we go. Ah, thank you. Hello, come on in. We're just getting started, so. Okay, I'm gonna put that in the little light here for 30 seconds. And while that's getting cured, I'm gonna go ahead and set up my mixture here. We're just gonna use my not polished. Let me get that. So I don't use not polished a whole lot because I have a little bit of it causes a little bit of a skin irritation for me, but I always buy it because I have their acrylic as well. And I like for my acrylic to go with my products if I've got it, right? Okay, we're gonna use, for the color, I'm gonna use VBeautyPure, and I don't have their monomer right now. So I'm gonna use my not polished. This is Bear Me. It looks kind of natural. See, it's kind of a natural color, and that's what I want, just natural. Okay, let's get this out here. I'm gonna grab my forms because we're gonna extend and make it a little bit longer. Okay, I only need 2 forms. Let's get that out here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and back out just while I'm putting this on. So I'm going to peel one of these off. I'm gonna pop out this center sticker right here. So just pop that out. And I'm gonna put my center sticker on the inside here. That's just gonna give it a little bit more strength and firmness. I like a good firm form here. Okay, we're gonna marry up these sides. So just kind of make them kiss each other. And then you can, if it's on a human, you're gonna undo this little form right here, but since it's the mannequin hand, we're just gonna leave her attached. And I'm going to slide this up under here. We wanna make sure, of course, that this line is going down the center of the nail and that she's up under there good. Just like that, okay? And then I'm gonna squeeze this just right to the 2 lines. Do you see these 2 lines right here? I'm just going to, let me zoom you in. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna squeeze these just to like right there. And go ahead and we can close these underneath tabs. That'll give us a nice shape here. Okay? You wanna make sure that she's up under there and that she's coming straight out. If you feel like on this one, she's jetting up just the tiniest bit, you can kind of, you know, tweak her down if you need to, okay? I'm all right with where she is. Okay, so let's get our monomer and our powder, and let's go to town. We're gonna build just a really thin bottom here. I forgot to get my little tissue. Here we go. Okay, that's to wipe my brush on. All right, so she looks good so far. I'm gonna zoom you guys in again. Tell me if it's too close, okay? Oh, thank you so much, Nico. I appreciate it. All right, here we go. Gonna get started. I'm gonna put my little bead just right here. And I'm just stretching it across. Okay, hold on. Jandy's telling me I need to back up a little bit, so let me do that.
Lisa Smithy said hi and can you back up, please?
Yes, hey Lisa.
Genevieve said hi.
Is that better? Y'all just let me know, okay? I'm gonna grab another bead here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna give it a second to set up a little bit so I don't make it run. And I'm just gonna plop that down. And we're just gonna walk it down. We'll just extend it to, we'll do a little bit better of a tip and then we'll keep it that length.
Tammy said hi.
Hey, Tammy. Come on in.
Get back in the middle of the screen a little bit more.
Oh, I thought I was. Tell me where the middle is. Jandy's gonna help me figure out this camera angle and stuff. Okay, she said I'm good. So y'all let me know if I need to do anything different on your end. Okay, I'm just gonna leave the length right about there. I'm gonna go ahead and do one more bead just back here at the back, just to kind of connect everything. It's just gonna be little beads, okay? And we'll end up doing this kind of in a more of a point, but that'll be easy to work with. Thank you, Tammy. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of spread this out, keep it really thin. Go back this way with my brush. Okay, we'll let her be setting up. While she's setting up, I'm gonna go ahead and get my next form ready for the guy next door here. Hey, Tammy S. Okay, let's go ahead and marry these two. All right, I'm gonna put this finger just kind of down a little bit, just so I don't hit it. I'm gonna slide this one up underneath here. There we go. And clamp it. Get that shut nicely. Okay, now we're gonna do the same thing over here. Whoop, I lost my bead. Uh-oh. Here, I'm gonna just move that out the way. Okay, let's let it set up for a minute. And we'll just walk it over. And just keep it in its place. Now, I like to do small beads, but if you wanted to do, bigger beads, you certainly can. I just feel like I can control the smaller ones better for myself. I'm gonna go ahead and get another bead. Okay, and same thing. We're just gonna get our sides lined up and walk it down.
Nico paints these beads dry up without curing.
Yes, this is acrylic powder and monomer system. So yeah, it's just gonna cure on its own, just with time and heat. Time and heat. Uh-oh. Almost lost my form. Okay, let's go ahead and get this attached to the nail before we lose anything.
Tammy said, what design are you doing?
We're gonna do like a natural looking nail, we're gonna do one with a French and one with an ombre. And then we're gonna add some glitter, just a little bit of glitter. It's gonna be very pretty and natural looking, okay? This is gonna be something though that anybody should like, because it'll be, it's not really plain, but it's not like over the top with color. Like, I love a lot of color, but a lot of people don't. So I wanted to do something very like clean looking and that anybody would like. So I'm just gonna add the tiniest bit more acrylic right here on my tip. And I'm gonna go back over here and kind of do the same, because I extended that other one just a little bit more than I did this one. Okay. We won't keep them super long either. They'll still be really long, but not as long as we've built them, okay? All right, let me close this up. Oh, I gotta get my little, you see where my bead fell out? I've got to get that. Let me grab a little tool here. Here we go. I'll just grab my little tweezers. Hey, Margarita. Come on in. Grabbing stuff. All right, let's get this one closed up. We're still gonna use a little bit more acrylic, so I'm just gonna set this to the side. And let me make sure my brush doesn't have anything in it. All right, feels good. And I'm just gonna go ahead and point my brush again. I like to put it away or put it to the side nicely so that way it stays. Okay, we're gonna give that just a couple more seconds. While that's going, let me grab something else here. I'm gonna grab our gels that we're gonna use. Let's see. I'm gonna use this one. Okay, I'm grabbing my gels here. Okay. So what we can do is go ahead and get ready for our gel. So on top of this, we're gonna go ahead and use one more round of protein bond, of our YoungNails protein bond, just for adhesion. And I'm just gonna put that back here and down this nail. And do the same on this one. I hear you, kitty. All right, so next we're gonna use our gels. I'm gonna get this removed. Let's see if they're ready. I know I added that little bit, so I don't wanna pull it off and have the tip get stuck. Let's see if we're gonna have luck or not. Oh, it's still setting up. Okay, we're gonna let it set up, okay? Let me try this one. Okay, it's thinking about it. It's thinking about it. Let me see if it's gonna release it. I think it's gonna take off that. Let's see, if it goes to take off the tip, we'll have to kind of fix it here. Hopefully I think it might though. Okay, let's try to let it, well, let's see. Okay, it did. It's okay, we'll make it a little shorter. How about that? We'll make it shorter. It'll be fine. Okay. Let me go ahead and take off this tip that wasn't quite cured yet. I'm just gonna nip at it here. We'll just do one a little shorter than the other. All right, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this way. Just kind of lift up that side. There we go. And this way. We'll lift it up. The mannequin hand doesn't have good heat, so sometimes she doesn't like to dry like a regular hand would. But the other one, we'll let her kind of set up. We'll just do kind of an almond on this one. How about that? Let's see if I can get this little tip to come off here. I'm just kind of hitting at it. Here, we'll clip. Here we go. We'll leave the rest to set up, okay? Let me go over here and see if she's ready to come off. Is it not wanting to set up? Okay, I'm gonna do the extension again. You see how it did? It doesn't want to set up. Let me try this again. I wonder if it's my monomer, because I hadn't used it in so long. Anyway, you're gonna get to see me rebuild it again. I'll just kind of build it like a little bit drier, so that way maybe it will set up better. She didn't hang on, Jandy. She came off. She wasn't setting up.
Nick and Annabelle and
Hey, Nick and Annabelle.
Nina.
And Nina. All right. If this ever happens to your person, you just build another one, right? No big deal. All right, so let's attach. And this time I'm gonna let this one sit up for a long time. So that way, hopefully, we don't have that problem.
Can you tap the nail with the wooden part of the tip of the brush?
Oh, yes.
If it sounds hard, it's ready.
Yeah, I was just thinking it should have been ready because it's hot here in Dallas, but it's not, I guess, because it's a mannequin hand, it doesn't want to.
Koshka, Raymond said hi.
Hey, Koshka, Raymond.
Nico, why don't you use UV gel? You prefer the beads?
No, I love using my gel. I just was I kind of make myself use my acrylic from time to time, just so that way I don't, like if you don't mess with something a lot, then you kind of get out of touch with it. And because I mainly do gel, then I try to be sure that I practice on my mannequin hand with my acrylic, just so that way I don't lose touch with it, Does that make sense? Because I have learned that if I go too long without playing with it, yeah, I'll kind of get out of touch with the way it works. You kind of got to keep playing with stuff. Okay, I'm just going to lift this up just a little bit more and, make sure it's attached good. Let's go back with it. Because this one's going to be a hybrid nail, so we want it to be both acrylic and gel. It does make it a lot stronger. I mean, with gel, it's always, real strong, and certainly acrylic is strong. This just kind of gives you the best of both worlds. Okay, we're not gonna make it any longer anyway than that. All right, so we'll let her set up, and we'll just kind of continue on with our other nail over here. Okay, sorry, that was a little bit of a distraction. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of tuck that one down. I'm gonna start shaping my tip here a little bit better. And I want just kind of an almond, just kind of a softer almond.
Tammy says, I love acrylic. I struggle with gel though, but getting it down. I love hybrid nails.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like we're all like a little bit different, huh? Because I always struggled with the acrylic, and I always found gel to be a lot easier. So that's why I was like, I'm just gonna do the gel. But I'd force myself though to keep working, with the acrylic powders, because you just kind of have to make sure that you stay up with everybody.
Renee says,
Hey, Renee. I want to get this tip just a little bit more pointed. Okay, there we go. I think that looks pretty. It's kind of soft. Okay. All right. So let's get into what we're going to do color-wise. Okay, I'm just going to kind of dust her off just the tiniest bit. And let's use, and I'm getting her dirty. There we go. Come here, you little wiry fuzz.
Mia said hi.
Hey, Mia.
Tammy said, I'm heavy-handed with gel. It is my most struggle.
Yes. I know what you mean. I am too. I'm kind of heavy-handed, and I don't want to say I'm rough, but I'm not as delicate as what I wish I was. Like, how like sometimes you got to be just really delicate and gentle with it. Yeah, I need to get better with that too.
Oh, you're out of frame.
Oh, I am?
Yeah, Delia said, can't really see much.
Okay, let Jandy tell me if I'm in frame or not. You tell me, Jandy. Does it look good?
I think so.
Okay. All right, I'm going to go in with my doughy, and this is, what is this?
Tammy
Obby?
said, zoom out just a hair.
Oh, okay. Whoop, that's in. Okay, there we go. Is that better? Okay, this is Doi, and it's Abby, number 01. It's kind of a milky white. I'm gonna put milky white at the tip, and we're just gonna kind of fade it back a little bit. So I'll just kind of scrape some of this off. Scrape a little bit more off. There we go. I'll put this on my tip. And then I'm just gonna gently fade it back. I'm just using the same brush, you know, that it comes with. But this gel is really pretty. It's very silky, like kind of smooth. So I feel like it ombres really nicely. I wanna get a little bit more over here and the littlest bit more right in here. And you can also get your ombre brush, which let me grab mine.
Get back in the middle. Tammy, there's a Tammy S and a Tammy Parento.
Okay.
Chat, but Tammy P said, I missed meeting you on the VIP live.
Oh my gosh.
Unexpected company.
Well, with our next one, you can be there. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. It was very good live. But yeah, you can always catch it. You know, she's going to have it recorded, which I think is wonderful. And then yeah, when we do our next one, we'll just kind of pick up from there. And I'm going to go ahead and set this into place with my little Goya light. There we go. It's not very strong right now because I need to plug it in, but it should do the trick. I'm in the middle on my screen, so you tell me, where's middle? Which way do I need to move? This camera, I tell you. Okay, am I good? All right. All righty, so we've got our white on there. Let's go ahead and do our pink, and I'm just gonna use Doi again. And this is, or Doi, and this is Abby, number 03. So it's a really, really pretty pink. Do you see that pink? It's really, really nice. It's a very pinky pink. And I'm just gonna kind of kick that off and push it back here. Make sure it's back by my cuticle. That's gonna be the thickest part. And then I'm just going to drag it like that. And then I'm gonna come in with my ombre brush, and I'm just gonna kind of pull it down on my sides. Okay, same over here. I'll kind of tilt it so that way you guys can see. And I'm just going to pull it to the part where it needs it. Just like that. Do you see how it's setting up? It's really pretty. Uh-oh, let me turn it this way. And then I'm just going to very lightly feather this down. Just like that. Do you see how nice that is? It's very, very pretty. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just flash set this. And we're not building in our shape right now. We're just kind of, well, this is the middle to me, so you tell me. Is that the middle to you? Okay, she's gonna tell me if this is the middle.
The end of your flash thing was, okay, now you're in the middle.
Okay. I know, it keeps getting out of frame, she says. Okay. She says right here, so I'm just gonna try to not move. Okay, I'm gonna go in. Do you see where, like right in here, it looks like it's a little more see-through than the rest of that white. I'm just gonna add the tiniest bit more of that milky. So just a little bit more milky right there. And then I'm just going to feather it back. I'll make sure I pull it out where I need it. Feather it just real gently that way and this way. Okay, this is the center to me. Okay, let me know. Okay, you can see how thin we have it still. We're gonna build our shape here in a minute though. Okay, I'm gonna stick that in the light just for, we're gonna go for just a minute, just 60 seconds. While that's going, let me put up some of these real quick and get them out the way. We're gonna do our glitter next. And for my glitter, I'm gonna go back to my acrylics and I'm gonna use my Glitterbels. This one kind of looks like this. It's just kind of a pastel-y candied color glitter. It's called, what is that? Rhubarb Fizz. Okay, so I'm gonna use a little bit of Rhubarb Fizz. And the other thing I wanna use, let me shake this real quick.
Whichever side you keep tending to go to is out of the middle.
Okay. Yeah, I keep pulling it over to my middle, but it's evidently not everybody's middle. Uh-oh. Well, this happened, so I'm gonna show you how to fix it real quick. So my lady got stuck to the inside of my lamp, but she's gonna be easy to fix. Let me show you real quick. All right, I'm gonna get my little pad again here. We get some alcohol on her. I'm just gonna remove that tacky and I'm just gonna kind of scrape off where she got stuck on there. Hey, Wendy. Oh, Lindy. Okay, good. Okay, so that has pretty much fixed it, but I do want to make sure though that my color is still even. Okay, so you see where we can still see a little bit of that. I don't want that on there because we want them to be really pretty. So let's go back into our doughy. Hey, Dorothy. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of plop some of this down here. And I'm gonna feather it down with my ombre brush. Okay, then I'm gonna try to stick her in there where she won't cause a problem here. Okay, all right, go back in there, lady. Okay, I'm gonna hold on to her evidently because the bottom is coming off of my lamp and, all right. So while she's doing that, while she's doing her thing, I'm getting my glittered acrylic ready and I'm gonna do one more thing. Let me show you what else I got. I got this to put in here and this is, so it kind of, it is Creations Flakes and this is number 11. It's their chameleon flakes. And this one kind of goes from a pink to a purple to a blue.
I love the nails.
Ah, thank you. You see how pretty that is? I'm just gonna add a little bit of this and then we're gonna use our other glitter. But we're not gonna make it crazy. It's just gonna be very subtle. I think it'll be very, very pretty. Okay, she should be good. All right, let's pull her out here. So she's got her nice little ombre nail right now. And I'm gonna go in with my acrylic here. Ah, thank you, Koshka. All right, I don't need too much monomer because I'm just gonna do a little. And I'm just gonna kind of put it just right where the blend is. And then I'm just gonna kind of make it go down just a little bit. Maybe the middle is over here. Okay, hopefully I did it. Hopefully I'm in the middle.
There, yeah.
All right.
Now you're not again.
Am I in the middle?
You're too close or something.
Am I
But
too
you keep
close?
going off to whatever side.
I'm gonna kind of move my camera around, see if this helps.
Sit a little more to the right, if that helps you.
A little more to the right. This is my right. Does that help you guys? Like here?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we'll keep it right here. Okay, that's what she looks like so far. I'm gonna close this off.
Now pull a little to that other way now.
Did I go the right way? So you need over here? Because I can't even see my finger over here.
Okay, yeah.
You need over here. Okay, I can't see the finger at all, so we're just gonna be kind of flying blind, guys. Okay, if that's right though. That's my hand
I know.
on the screen. Why'd you say I was in the middle?
But you were a half
Oh.
second ago.
I didn't move. Yours is on a little bit of a lag.
Oh, I know.
Okay. Okay, I got back over in my middle. We're gonna see if it comes back. Okay, let's try this. I'm gonna hang on to her really well. Although I'm about to switch fingers. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna hang on to her real good. I'm gonna try to grab a gel. Trying not to move too much. All right, let's see.
Julia said you need to put her in her place until your
Right.
model's acting out.
Exactly. There we go. All right. All right, now we're gonna go in with our Synergy gel, and I'm just gonna kind of encapsulate all of this, okay? And that's where we're gonna put our shape in here. Let's see if that's, we'll give it another minute to dry up there, okay? While she's drying, let me remove this, see if this held up. Okay, good, she's good. Okay, come off of here, I think she's good. Let's keep our fingers crossed that she's hanging on there. Okay, there we go. Good, good, good. Hopefully she's in the middle. I'm gonna go ahead and cut off the excess. And I'm not going like really tight in here just because I don't want to mess this up. Okay, it looks like I'm good. Yeah, you know, it's so weird. On her phone, I'm like real zoomed in. On my phone, I'm totally zoomed out. That's so weird. Wonder why it does that sometimes. It just doesn't tell me like the truth of what's going on. Filming is weird, y'all. Okay. Okay, good. I'm gonna try to keep it right here. Okay, let me get that shape. Let me get our shape in here real quick. I'm just gonna kind of, I know it's dipping down just like slightly. Let me move her out the way. So I'm gonna lift it up. I'm gonna lift it a little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more still. Tiniest bit more. Okay.
Dog, right?
Yes, you hear that drinking in the background. She's big, so it's a loud drink. She's a loud drinker. Okay, let's get our shape. Shape is always the hardest part for me. Okay, good, thank God. Okay, let's do this length right here.
Slurping that water up.
She was. It's hot here in Dallas today. It's been hot lately. I'm ready for spring or fall again. Ready for fall already. Okay, now we're gonna do a French. We're gonna attempt to do a French over here. I'm letting the other one dry, so.
Delia said some people thought she wasn't kidding about tell your mom to quit acting out.
Right. I know. She's a mess. I know. We need to come up with a name for her. Okay, so we've got our protein bond on. I'm going to go in again with our white. Let me grab the white. What did I do with my white? Here we go. Okay, this time we're going to make more of a French line. Okay, and this is my doughy again. This is number 1, the white. And I'm going to kick off a good amount on that nail. And you know how like whenever you're going to do your builder gel, you kind of like bring it up here. Let me get some more. We kind of bring it up here and then like we work it by the cuticle. We're going to pretend we've got a cuticle here. And we're just going to make kind of a French with our little ball here. And pull that down. Is she rolling around back there on our, I think she's back there rolling around on the bed. Probably trying to be crazy. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and set this into place with my little quickie lamp. I need to plug this lamp in before long. All right, get that set in there. And then I'm gonna grab, I've got one other doughy that I'm gonna try. It is called Nudie Blushing Pink. It's a little bit different shade of a natural. It's more of like a little bit more tan. Should I use that? Or I should stick with the pink, shouldn't I? So that way we can kind of compare the looks. I'll do that. That way we don't get it confused or anything. All right. I'll show you though the other color a little bit better here in a second. Okay, I'm just going to put some down here. Push this up to our cuticle. Oh, wow. Nice. That's very nice, Nico. I bet it's really pretty there. And I'm just going to come down and do my little smile line. Okay, now my smile line doesn't look great, but that's okay because we're going to go in with our little ombre brush again. And I'm just going to kind of pull my smile line back this way and make sure I've got everything covered. But I don't want to bring it down over my white, if that makes sense. Okay. I need to get it back here in this little corner. I'm going to try to keep it as even as I can. I've got it a little bit too thick over here. Oh, okay. I'm just going to kind of pull some of this back. Uh-oh, you know what? My color's not cured yet. That's why it was kind of mixing. I was wondering why it was doing that. My white started to mix with my nudie. I'll just kind of pull it and make a very soft blend here in the middle. Okay, I don't want to use my finger. Let me get me a little stick here real quick to work with. Okay, I've got my little stick. And I thought my white was curing, but you know how I told you guys my light needed to be cured better.
Faith said hi.
Hey, Faith. Okay, I'm just trying to set this a little bit better. Okay, let's go ahead and run this down the sides so I don't end up with really, really thick. Okay, but I feel like I'm losing it right in there. I'm just gonna pull some of this over. Okay, that will settle, so I'm not worried about that. All right, let's stick her in the lamp. Stick her back in the lamp here. Okay, now I'm gonna use my other glitter. We're gonna see what that looks like.
That's where you're from.
Yeah, I'm from Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas. All right, we're gonna use this glitter next on this finger. Let's hope that it's got more of a little bit more of a French. That's what I was going for. Let's see, she's curing, so she's got about 30 more seconds left. If you guys are enjoying the content, if you'll hit that like button for me, I always forget to tell people, but if you'll hit the like button for me and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. We just do nails over here and different looks, and you'll practice with me, you'll learn new things with me. If I learn any new techniques or tricks or whatnot, I'll show you guys. I'm a beginner over here, so
Asking if you are a nail tech.
yes, I'm a nail tech. I graduated last year. Well, I think was it about a year ago, Jandy? Is that right?
Maybe
Yeah.
longer now.
Oh, she says maybe a little bit longer. So maybe 2 years now, going on 2 years. Okay, yeah, this one's a little bit more of a French. I'm gonna make a little bit more of a French. So I'm gonna add some more white. And let me just, I needed some here anyway. And then I'm just gonna kind of pull this just down on my sides a little bit.
Do you own a place where do you do nails?
Yeah, I do. So I don't work at a salon. I just do them out of my home. And I've got 2 nail rooms. I've got I've got a main nail room in the front of my house that a lot of people like to use because it's just right off the doorway. However, I've got animals that stay in this part. But then I've got another more kind of private room that doesn't have the animals. They don't go into, and that one is more out of a bedroom area.
And they said congrats. I assume
Thank you. Okay, let's lift this back up there. All right, let's put it back in the nuker just for a second. Okay.
Nico has to go to bed. Have a nice evening.
All right, Nico, thank you for joining us and have a good night. Hopefully I get this camera angle nailed down here. All right. She's got just a couple more seconds and then we'll do our glitter. And then we'll encapsulate with our gel. And make sure we've got our form and shape in there. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, so this is what she's looking like so far. Okay. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna grab our glitter here, our chameleon flakes. And we're just gonna put a little bit. So we're not gonna go like totally crazy. This is what they look like. So really, really pretty. And I'm just gonna dip my little brush in here, my little wooden stick. And we're gonna do it kind of like we did the other one, just kind of going down one side.
Faith
Not today. I do need to do them though soon. There we go. Okay. Let me know how this looks here in a second. And if you want to take any off, if you feel like you went a little bit too crazy with it, you can always just kind of brush some of this off, okay? If you wanted to. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit more. I want a little bit more on here. Let's do another one right there. There we go. Just a little hint. These are going to be pretty. Okay, now we'll get our shape in here. So let's do our next gel. So I'm going to add a little bit more of our YoungNails Protein Bond. Just right on top of everything. Wipe off my brush to make sure I don't get glitter in my bottle. Now we're gonna do our Build Pink. This will make everything really pretty. Okay, so let me know if you guys can see. And I'm just gonna put it down and pull it. So we're just kind of making like about a 1/2 inch line with it down the center. And then I'm just gonna use my ombre brush. And I'm just gonna kind of roll it from the back to the sides. Just make sure I'm encapsulating everything. You can certainly use a regular gel brush though if you'd like. The ombre brush will kind of do the same thing. I'm just gonna come all the way down. Let's go over here on this side. Okay. All right, I should be back in the middle, so. Okay, and then we wanna make sure we've got enough in here. So let me just pull from the front. And I'm just gonna make sure I've got enough in my defile in here and create my shape. And I think that's really good. So, all right, in the nuker for 60 seconds. We're gonna keep it kind of really, since we're going for kind of a natural look, I'm just gonna keep her more on the thinner side. She doesn't need to be super thick and crazy. Okay, she's going in there for 60 seconds. Yeah. So the flakes are the Chameleon Flakes from Creations. This is number 11. On a black nail, it looks like this, so it's got flashes of pink and purple and blue. But when you open it up, it's gonna be more on the lighter side. Okay. It's very, very pretty though. I love these Chameleon Flakes. One of my favorite things to play with. Okay. All right, so we've got that one. Let's go ahead and get our next one coated as well. And I'm just gonna make sure I've got enough to file in here. Oh, I'm not gonna be opening a shop, at least not that I anticipate right now. I'm just gonna always work out of my home. I like doing it that way, so I enjoy it. Did I just take off my Chameleon Flakes? Wait. Okay, no, it's good. Okay. Let's go ahead and put this on here. Okay, and again, I'm gonna take my brush and we're just gonna kind of wiggle it around from side to side and cover up everything. Okay, I'm gonna go up here just to make sure I'm in the center of my screen. Okay, Jandy's telling me I'm off to the side a little bit, so I'm just kind of scooting over. back up here. Make sure I got my side. I'm getting my side covered. Okay, so from the top looking down, it looks good, but I do want to I want to look at it sideways and just make sure I've got everything covered and that I've got enough product. And I need, again, just a little bit more right in here. Okay, let me do this again. And let's pull it back up through here because that was kind of where I needed it. All right, I'm gonna stick her in the nuker and then we're gonna get to shaping, which is, I think, the hardest part. Okay, let me stick her in here. All right, so she's going back in for 60. And I'm kind of holding on to her, so, but I am gonna, let me get this closed up real quick.
She wants to get her nails done, but I don't know from who.
Just, you know what I would do? I would go to Instagram and put in like hashtag your city. So like Dallas Nail Tech or Dallas, you can put in Dallas Nail Tech or Dallas Nails, you know, your city, of course. That's what I would do. And then you can really take a look at their work. Hopefully, you know, a lot of them are posting how they do. Just make sure it's their work and that they're not, you know, posting something that they just like or something. Because I don't know if anybody does that, but I could see where if people did, I would be, you know, a little disappointed if I went and that wasn't their nails. And then you kind of have to decide too if you want, you know, gel nails or acrylic nails. I do both, but I mainly do gel. So here's what we've got so far. Just very, very natural looking. And now we're gonna put in our shape. Let me make sure she's good. Okay. All right, let me fold this up. Get these out the way. Okay, I'm gonna clean her off with some swipes so that way she's not tacky. So just swipe with my alcohol.
If you don't have Instagram.
Ooh, if you don't have Instagram, I don't know. Maybe you could do Facebook, just look up the same thing. Or you could do just Google. That's what I would do. Otherwise, you could just kind of go to a popular nail salon in your area and just make an appointment and try them out. That's how we used to do back in the day. Just give it a try.
Nails X Sandra says hi.
Hey, Nails X, Sandra. Hopefully you guys can see. All right, so we're gonna get to shaping. Let me make sure I've got enough. Now I could put one more dollop in here, and I think I actually might, just to make sure I kind of don't set myself up for failure, right? So let me just kind of go one more little dab. And then just gently roll it around. Okay. Hopefully it's going back to the center here. I'm in the center, but it seems to take my screen a little bit longer to show you guys. Okay, Jandy said it looks good. Okay. So I'm just gonna kind of add just right here in this middle where I seem to be missing. Okay, that looks good. Okay, in the nuker. And just for 60 seconds. Okay. Yeah, the shaping seems to be the hardest part for me, but I keep working on it, and I know eventually I'll get it. How many of you guys struggle with shaping or struggled at some point with shaping? Probably everybody. Although I will say, some people just seem to be able to nail it. Okay, she's still curing. Hopefully she's almost done though. All right, she should be good.
Shaping is my nemesis.
Yes, I know it. We'll get it. We'll get it. Just keep practicing. Practice, practice. Okay, let's see, I've already got my little, I'm just gonna use my same little medium sanding band just because I know I'm down pretty low. I kept it pretty low. Okay, so I'm gonna get back here towards the back first and thin this part down. Okay, so I've got that really nicely. Now I'm gonna make sure I've got it kind of coming up to a peak where I want it. I'm just gonna leave my peak kind of where it is. And then down here, I wanna come up into my peak. Okay, I wanna make sure you guys can see. Okay, good. So I want this to be a little bit lower. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So now I should just be able to get my sides and my top. So I'm going to just kind of tilt it this way. I'm going to get this very top part and the side. Okay, I should be good. So it should be coming back to the center here. Yes. Okay, I'm going to tilt it just this way just a little bit so I can see. And come down on this side. Okay, I know I need to lift it up in here. Okay, I'm gonna lift it up over here because you see where it's hanging down. A lot of it's hanging down. Okay, I just need to keep lifting. All right, she's looking better. Okay, I'm gonna get her a little bit thinner through here. Okay. Whoop. Yeah, the tips I found, I think the biggest one probably that has helped me has been a couple of different positions. So, here we go. A couple of different positions. So being able to look at her from top straight down and seeing, you know, what she looks like. And then tilting her and making sure you've got, you know, your shape in there that way. And then coming in on your sides to kind of narrow her out a little bit. Yeah, it does smell good. It smells good. And I'm gonna come in more. Whoop. Hang on to your bit. Hang on to your equipment here. Okay, so she's coming. And then I would say also looking at her from the angle of just like kind of straight down that barrel like this. Hopefully you guys can see. Is that a little foggy? Just straight on. Because then you can see, okay, I need to get this. I need to get this one. Get this one. Thank you. I can already tell I'm a little bit higher over here on this side, so I'm just gonna come down a little bit more. And then I'm gonna look at her from the client profile, which is this way. And you can also tell from this angle, like where you might need to get. So I'm just gonna kind of As I'm looking at her, I can see it's a little bit puffier in here. See if that helps. It's a little fatter in here. So I'm just gonna kind of work on her like this. You can use your file too, of course, too, if you feel like you're better with your file. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn her this way. And let's work on this tip just a little bit better. I think the hardest part too is just trying to make sure you stay in the center. You know what I mean? Well, of the screen too, but at the center of the nail. Okay, I came up. See if that, okay, I've raised my lady up here. So see if you can see her. Okay. I just need to fix this just a little bit better. Okay. Oh, thank you. It's gonna look really good when we get our top coat on, right? Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and run a file over her. You can use just a fine file. Right now I've got my stronger file, but it's a little, I've been using it on my mannequin hands, so she should be pretty nicely worn in. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of come up on my sides and go over. Just to kind of fine tune her. I know I like to have my tip pretty thin, and I want to go ahead and make sure this is kind of even, looking down the barrel. There we go. Okay, and I'm just to make doubly sure I've got it really nice and thin, I'm just gonna run my file just kind of up and down her like this, just lightly. Okay, then let's get her dusted off. We'll get this one dusted off, and we'll get her top coated so we can look at this one, and then we'll do our next one, our other one. Now this one was our ombre, and I do want to be able, I want to, hopefully we're able to see the difference between the ombre and the more French. Even though the more French is still going to be not real harsh. Let me get her back on here. Let's see, she's supposed to pop in there 3 times, but I didn't quite hear her. Okay, let me get this little bit right here. Let me get it with the file. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me know how that looks. And I'm getting my top coat ready. Okay. What do you guys think of the shape so far? This is, I would call it an almond. I know everybody's almond is like a little bit different, but I would call it an almond. It still has kind of a more rounded, natural looking tip, but I like them like that. Yeah, I think that's pretty, and it looks like an ombre to me. Does that look like an ombre to everybody? Oh, I love that little bit of flash. You like the shape? Good, Koshka, I'm so glad. It's pretty. Okay, let's put her in the nuker. Yeah, I work hard on my shaping. It doesn't always come out great though. You know, sometimes when I'm shaping, I'm like, oh, there's something wrong with it, but I can't quite pinpoint it. But I just keep on trying, keep on trying. Eventually we'll get it. Yeah, I know, like Jandy's saying that her shape, she always likes her shape. It's always good. And it is. That's because though, look how long it takes me to get it. You know what I mean? Like, cause I work really hard to make sure if you come see me, that my clients leave with the nails looking good, and each one of them looks, you know, the same, the symmetrical.
Star shaping is my worst skill when doing the nails.
Yes. I'm real bad with the coffin tips. That's probably my most hated design or shape, just because it's so hard for me. Or even if it's just like slightly coffined, I feel like even that's difficult.
Hey, Richard said thumbs up.
Ah, thank you. All right, so we've got one nail down. Let's get our other one here. All right, I think she looks really good though. She's nice and narrow. I think I can get right here a little bit better. So I'm just gonna take my file and we'll just kind of shape that up a little bit better. There, that looks better. And over here, same kind of thing. I just need to lift this up just a little bit. Let me hang on to her so she doesn't start giving us attitude.
That's good, Tammy.
Ah, good. Thank you, Tammy.
No, ma'am.
Oh, these dogs.
You have to let you put them stay still. That looks great.
Okay, good, good, good.
Arch, great job.
Oh, thank you. I know it's very slight and natural, right? But there. Okay, I'm back in my middle here, so. All right, hopefully I'm in y'all's middle. Or I will be shortly here. Okay, I'm gonna get to this next nail and we're gonna see how this one turns out. Okay, let me put that one away. So I'm gonna start same way again. I wanna make sure I've got my shape just coming like straight down the center. So let me look at it this way first. Make sure I don't burn my client. Okay, let me turn her this way now. Okay, so I want my height to be right here. We'll just go ahead and keep that there. Let's get it ramped up. And also keeping your, pay attention to the angle that you're holding your bit. That was another key. So, you know how they talk about this is your zone 1, the middle is zone 2, the end here is zone 3. And same on the nail, you've got 1, 2, and 3. So when you're in zone 1, you're gonna wanna tilt your hand up to zone 1. You wanna make sure this is going at the same angle that you want your back to meet up with that height, okay? So when you get about here, your angle's not gonna be as, like I'm trying to think this would be maybe like a 20% angle incline. Yeah, 20%, 20 degree. You know what I'm saying. Okay, so then we're gonna take it down to like a 10 and get this part. Then we're just gonna take it to like, what would this be? 90? 90. At the very top, we're gonna be at a 90. And then we want to go down here. We're gonna put it, this would be what? 80%, would you say? Wait, no, that's not right. It'd be negative because it's this way. -20, we're gonna say. And we're using this part of the bit to get this tip, okay? But that angle's really the angle that you keep your bit is gonna, think of it as the angle that you want your nail to be. So I want it to ramp up. So I need this end to come down lower. And then it's gonna ramp up into our nail. And I like to put my hand back behind it so I can really see where I am. So we want it to ramp up, so let me come down lower. Okay, so I think we're almost there. Okay, I think that's gonna look good. I know it's a little hard to see because the shape that's in there right now and the rest of the nail because it's a little thick, but we're gonna get her. Okay, I'm back in the center on my screen, so hopefully it'll come back to your center here. Hey, Happiness. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get under and lift this up. So I want this to be just a straight line, kind of like this, right? So let's lift this up. I'm gonna hang on to her a little bit better. Whoop. There we go. I feel like that side looks pretty good. Let me flip her over this way. And same thing, I want to remove this to like right here where it just comes straight out from that side. And just get it as close as you can, because we can always, you know, work at it. Okay, now I'm gonna I'm gonna look at it just from straight up above, and I wanna go ahead, let's come in over here just a little bit. This is gonna be more narrow. So we're just kind of cutting in our shape here. Let's do this side. Okay, now let's come down the barrel and get our chunkiness out of here. Okay, I should be going back to the center for you. Hey, Shafika. Come on in, we're just finishing up, but we're about to put a top coat on to see how we did. I feel like she's a little bit bulky right through here. So I'm just gonna come from the edge to the center. Yeah, she's just a little bulky. Okay. And still a little bulky right in through here. Okay, still right through here. And if it helps you too, when you get on these sides, you can always run your e-file from the side over, okay? And just marry it with the height of whatever the center part of your nail that you did is. There we go. Okay, same over here. So I can come down the barrel this way. Uh-oh, she's coming off. Get her back up there. There. Get that little piece off of there. Okay. Let me hang on to her. Okay, come down the barrel. Still feel like she's a little fatter over here. There we go. And then you can always come from this side in, okay? And it might even make it easier if you do it from this way, you know, from client profile, since you're gonna turn it to client profile anyway eventually here. Let's go ahead and get my shape in here a little bit better. Okay, she needs to be a little bit thinner through here. And then, okay, then I can just kind of tilt my hand and I can go from the outside in and marry it with the center. And sometimes I just kind of run it this way. Okay, see if you guys can see. I just moved myself again. So it should come back to the center here. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. And I think it looks pretty good too from our client profile. Now I'm gonna get this front part, which you can see is a little thick. So I'm just gonna lift it up and thin it out. And I can thin it out too from the top over here. Okay, I'm starting to hit my glitter, so I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna switch to my file. Let's get her dusted off so you guys can see too. And I'll get her, make sure she's back in the middle of my screen. Okay, that should be good for you guys too. Give it a minute to come back over here. And I'm just gonna kind of shape her up just a little bit better, lift up this bottom a little bit more. Because I know that I was hitting my glitter on top, so I know I need to make sure not to file any more on the top so I can really come in on that bottom part. We'll just get her a little bit more roundedy. Okay. And I'm just gonna, I always do this part kind of slow because I'm getting used to doing it this way. But I'm just trying to kind of swoop this up on the sides to make sure I've got it even. Okay, a little bit more under here. Okay, I think this is looking good. Okay, let's do the client profile again. Do you see how much more narrow this one is than this one? I'm gonna try to get this one to look more like this one, okay? That's gonna be the goal. So I'm just gonna come in just a little bit more here. On my sides. She's wanting to come off. Okay, I'm gonna hold her real tight. I'm gonna come in more. Make her a little bit more narrow. And same over here. Okay, I feel like this is looking good. Let's do our tip just a hair bit more. And I'm gonna go up over this tip just a little bit. And I'm just marrying this side to the top just a little bit better. Okay. Now she's a little bit more pointed than that other one. Okay, good. She's looking better. Okay, there we go. I think we're good. So let's wipe her off. And let's take a look at her. Get her top coated. Okay. She should be good for you guys where she is. Let me know though if I need to do anything different, if I need to zoom in or anything. Let's get our top coat on here. And she should be more of a French. That's what I was going for. So hopefully we accomplish that. She does look more like a natural French. Good. Okay, that's what I was going for. I'm gonna put a little bit more top coat on here. That is so pretty. I don't know which one I like better. Well, they're both very different, huh? Okay, let's put her in the nougat real quick so I don't hit her. Okay, go in there, lady. Let me get this boxed up. She's gonna be in there for 60 seconds while she cures. And while she's doing that, let me see if you guys have any questions. And I'll be sure and put in the details what products I used. And I hope that you guys enjoyed kind of doing a mixture of acrylic and gel. I really like doing it. And also, because I kind of started out thinking, you know, I was gonna do both for my business. And then once I got to working with both and I was buying all the products for both, it just got a little crazy and I decided I needed to pick one or the other. And even though acrylic is more popular in my area here in Dallas, I decided to go with gel because we don't have a whole lot of gel, like all gel technicians and or salons, either way. And so I thought that would be the better choice to go with. Plus I enjoy playing with it a little bit better, just me personally. I'm a little bit better at it. So that's what I decided to do. Oh, those are so pretty. Let me know what you guys think. Let me turn her this way. Let me get her dusted off too. She's really dirty. She's a dirty girl. You can see here. Okay, let's clean her up. She definitely gets used around here. Okay. Let me clean her over here. I love this YoungNail hand though. It's a lot better than those other ones that you get on Amazon. Okay, so let's look at her pretty good here. See what we've got. Let's get her cleaned up nicely. Yeah, she's pretty. I think we did good on our shapes. Now I could go thinner on her. Like this one's a little bit more narrow. I could do that, but I really kind of like the shape. What do you guys think? Should I take it in more? Is she too fat, like in through here?
Yeah, but is that middle finger and pointer finger?
Yeah, they're two. Yeah, of course they're two different fingers, but you know, I want them to look like they go together. You know, though, really, when the more I look at it, you kind of can't tell the difference between the one we Frenched and the one we ombre'd, you know? A whole lot. Okay, take it in a little bit more. Okay, let me do that. Yeah, I think so too. Okay, let's get my file. And I'll just kind of, I know it's in through here that we need to kind of thin it out. Okay, got it. Was right in through this bulk. Okay, let's come in this side a little bit more. Oh, okay, I'm trying to get in place here, guys. Okay, let's try this out and see what it looks like. Let's get her wiped off. Uh-oh, I just pulled her off. Well, that only clicked once. Okay, well, we still should be able to see it. I feel like just a little bit more through here. Okay, those look like they go together a little bit better. There we go. Yeah, she looks good. What do you guys think? Which one's your favorite? Do you like the more bluish purple, kind of clear? Or do you like the more obviously glitter? You do? Dandy likes the blue one better. This one? They both? I don't know why I always feel like one has to be the winner. I'm always like, okay, which one wins? Yeah, I agree. I like them both for different reasons. I would wear both of them. This one's still dipped down just the tiniest bit.
Both Tosha blue is a favorite.
Okay, yeah.
Nails, Alexandra, both look nice, but the glitter is my favorite.
Yeah, I love them both. So pretty. There's so many different options. Thank you guys too for coming over here and supporting me today and joining me on Friday night. I hope that you guys have a good evening and the rest of your weekend. I'll be back here this weekend. We'll be practicing and trying different looks. I'll be trying to nail my Frenches a little bit better with the gel. All right, you guys have a good one. Thank you again for coming in. And I will see you very soon. Okay?